Well, let's talk about helicopters. You know, I like planes and stuff, but I guess we could talk about the helicopter. Or make a helicopter jet plane later. Way better than those hospital things, but let's first start with basic principles. You know, I said something about basic principles in the third grade too. You know, the third grade is like third, you know, 3 for D, RD, research and development. He says, well, maybe we can't have that kid talk about that right now, but one day, we all pray to God, it's going to be real cool. So, last year, a year before, I don't know, I lose track of time. I got so much stuff up here, so I'll get it all from up there. But at least, so, let's talk about helicopters. Well, I said if you design that blade, we took a little Chinese, remember? It's on Amazon. It's amazing, you know, South American, you know. Amazon. So, we did a review on the little quadcopter thing, you know. Told you what you could do. And man, nobody ever thought like that. They're looking at stuff with little cuts and drifts and like, yeah, a little bit of stuff. Does all that with air pressure and molecules and stuff. And it's like, well, yeah, and it's what the little kid was saying when he was a kid too. So, we can tell you about these choppers, you know, the engine. You know, the little blades are spinning. And they sharpen the blades that way they cut through the air molecules and particles real tight, you know. You try to dissipate the heat. The blades don't get hot from the sunshine. See, the sun's shining down. Metal blades. Blades get hot. Engine get hot, and they think one direction, you know. They go, you know, they got single-minded thinking, you know, just one direction, you know. They want to go up. So they're like, okay, we got helicopter blades getting hot. Heat from the engine. No heat from the engine, man. Those Indians, we get mad. Woo! You don't want to talk about it. God, Mother Nature, everything get off track. So, we say, the blades, and then the heat from the engine, they figure hot expands the particles, so, you know, easier for the chopper to lift up. And in the theory, that's right, you know. They say hot air rises, it spreads, and then you've got the heavier air underneath, and you know, chopper blades are pushing the air down. They're gonna hit the wall of the thicker air or the evaporation of the, you know, molecules and humidity coming up, compressing it down like a little wave of invisible water underneath, you know. But the invisible enemy of that is the mode of thinking. You know, fifth, like for the 5 Bible, you know, 5 books. They say a 5th dimensional thinking was from God. You know, say, okay. So how's that work? Well, you got the little helicopter blades, right? You design them right with the carbon fiber and steel reinforcement. Becomes part of the engine and the exhaust, right? So you got the air going through the blades and exhaust, and what happens? Well, since that's redirecting the air, it spreads the heat out to the outside of where the helicopter blades are. Now, what does that do? Well, it puts the heat away from the helicopter. Away from the helicopter, you know, out there. And then it's not so hot up here in the center where the engine and exhaust and everything is. And the heat is out there, and the thicker air wants to pull away into the hotter air outside. See? Opening up a window of time and space for the helicopter to lift up. And then what you're pushing down now is not all that hot air, but cooler air to compress with the cooler air underneath. That's a better shelf for that helicopter to sit on and raise up. It's a more stable flight. Now you put something like that together and you start thinking about those other technologies. You get the good minds thinking together and you go, well, the Mars mission program, you know, to replant and rebuild the deserts, you need special flight, you know, from helicopter jets and stuff, you know, to ship supplies and more cost effective on fuels and efficiency. So you go, well, you fly like something like that out there in the desert. Then you look at the Disney movie and they say, Flight of the Navigator? Well, you know, he wasn't just collecting information on species and, you know, psychologies and psychiatry and the effects of this or not. You know, technologies too, you know. And then they'll show you how to navigate planet Earth. He says, well, are you kidding me? He says, yeah, man, all of us Indians, you know, Chinese people, Japanese, I mean, big corporations, you know. We all work together, and it's like, you can't wait to see what we're going to do next.